have some tea. What's over here? There we go. Alright, good morning. Or good evening. Or good afternoon. Whatever time it is. Good. That. Let's go. So I am on volume 10 now. You've been lucky enough to acquire a bounty of friendship since you arrived on this planet. But there's still an emptiness nestled right in the crook of your heart. So, Atria? Making one more friend will fix it. Maybe this next one will expand inside your chest like a sponge in the bath, pushing out all your sadness, loneliness, and insecurity. After all, number 20's the charm. Ah, so I see we have JoJo references today. Hello. Tonight, you're buzzed with excitement. Wait, no. Your palm husk is vibrating in your pocket. One of your friends is contacting you. You pull it out, and a notification pops up. Buzzing is requesting to add you on Twitter. The message is accompanied by a little icon, blue, with a silhouette of winged animal. Some of the similarities between this planet and your own are starting to stretch your powers of belief and coincidence. Whatever. You pull up the app and read the messages from, could it be, your potential new friend? OMG, hi! I hope it's okay to contact you. Oops, I should introduce myself. I saw your picture on Sarava's stream. I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm one of their biggest fans, but now I'm one of yours. Love those looks. Anyway, I would love to chat if you're open to it. If not, it's okay. You can just ignore me. Everyone else does. Oh, poor baby. Could this be the universe reaching benevolently down to you to do you a solid? It's like being given a giant pile of money unasked. You didn't have to do anything for this friendship. You didn't even have to walk anywhere. All you had to do was join the fabled social media and it literally appeared in your pocket. Your hands are shaking a little as you go to respond. You don't want to seem too eager. Or do you? You have no idea how to... You have no idea how to approach this. What are you doing, Sushi? Okay. Mm-hmm. Sushi has the zoomies at the moment, so they will probably be background noise. You thank Bazing for his compliments and say that you would be happy to talk sometime. In an instant, a notification pops up inviting you to download another app. Are you done? I will be back in a moment. I'm back. You do it, and a video screen pops up. Suddenly, you can see your new friend's face. He's sweetly round and roly-poly and smiling at you broadly. Oh, that is an adorable description. Hi! Look at the little face. I am Zibidi. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that anywhere near right. I'm just gonna go with hello. What are you doing now? Oh, I know what's wrong. Hold on. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back again. He is Prospect and Light. Aw. He's adorable. I figured out why Sushi had such zoomies. Um I had to move her feeding time to at night after I get back from the lab. So that the cat I had to toss out last time doesn't come in and just eat all of her food. And it's a very recent change, so I'm still getting used to it. And I just did have a notification go off on my phone that it was time to feed her. So that's probably why she was zooming around. She's probably going, where the fuck is my food? Theme is beekeeper who? I don't know her. It's a reference for a scrap character? Interesting. I hope it's not too sudden to gripe you like this. Is it okay? OMG, you don't have to respond to that. Sorry for being weird. Oh, precious. Also, very obviously a bundle of anxiety there. Let's start over. How do you know Sarava? Apart from being extremely friendly, this troll also seems to run both sides of the conversation by himself. Befriending him is the least effort you've ever put into anything. Honestly, understand. After the amount of effort we put in to making friends, it's interesting to have one where, like, you don't have to do anything. It's just, like, it's a friend. His enthusiasm is, words. His enthusiasm is cute, but there's something about him that unsettles you. Looking at his hopeful face gives you a dark stab of humiliation you don't quite understand. You swallow down the discomfort and tell him the story of your friendship with Sarava, leaving out Sarava's personal background. He hangs on your every word. That's so cool! I wish I could hang out with you guys. OMG, not that I'm implying you'd want to hang out. It's just, no one ever comes to visit me. Oh. He takes out his phone and taps a few keys. A notification box opens up in front of the video. It's a direct message from Buzzing. That just says, I wish I could, like, emote like that to properly show what I was trying to portray there. You ask him why that is. I live in the middle of nowhere. It's good for the bees. But I guess no one really thinks it's worth the effort. You come all the way out here. It's just me and my Lucis. And he can't really do much around the hive. It's fine. Oh, he says the word sigh. Hold. Sigh. It's fine. He really says the word sigh out loud. Despite saying it was fine, he seems dejected, with a distinct downward angle to his shoulders. Just realized we said it with the Z. Sorry, his shoulders. His buzzy accent is kind of getting to you. I'm gonna save that. Here we go, save you. I'm gonna ask more about where he lives. You said it must be nice to live in the countryside. You mentioned that you did get to see some of rural Alternia when you met Skyla, and it seemed beautiful. ZBD's face twists into a grimace. Yeah, I guess. I don't know how to, like, make it sound buzzy. Sensing this moment for sympathy, you tell him you're sure his friends would come visit if they were able to make the trek. Sure. Sounds like you did visit another troll that lives in the countryside, though. So I guess you thought she was cooler than me? That's like... it's whatever. I don't need my friends to pick me first. You struggle for words. You want to reassure him, but you also don't know him that well yet. You weakly protest that you didn't mean you didn't mean to say Skylar was cooler than him. You didn't even know him then. Maybe you'll be able to visit him in the future too. Yeah, maybe. I've heard that before. He's not rejecting you, but you get the sense that a wall has been raised. You're sure you're going to keep chatting with ZBD from time to time, but you get the sense you're never going to become a true friend. You're stuck in acquaintanceship limbo. Looks like you've failed to earn his trust. Aww. All I wanted to do was ask about the area he lives in. Well, I guess we're gonna ask him if it's really fine. You tell him that you'd understand if he's not okay with it. After all, you say, it would really hurt your feelings if your friends didn't make any effort for you. Isn't that what friends are supposed to do? He gives you a grateful smile, some tension releasing from his frame. Oh, I would never ask that of anyone. I don't want to be annoying. Sometimes I really wish someone would take the time to visit, but I totally don't blame any of my friends for not coming. I understand that you have to decide which friends come first, and I just don't. Aww. Some people are just cooler and more fun than me. It's understandable. This really must be your lucky day. First of all, no one has threatened bodily violence towards you in the past 10 minutes. Your fear for your life is at a low-key, reasonable level. Second, this troll is making it really obvious what he wants to do. Or what he wants you to do. This is a total slam dunk for friend fraternity. Jeez, that one caught me by surprise. Say you'll visit. Oh, I love this. I love this super excited sprite. ZBD's face transforms utterly. It's astonishing. He goes from sullen and shadowed to utterly radiant. Your heart pangs with an overwhelming surge of fellow feeling. True, you've seen other trolls react emotively at the sight of meat and blood and your own body sparkling under the moonlight. Hi, Gorgor. But ZBD is the only one with such an extreme reaction to friendship. Man, you are really feeling this little guy. You'll come? Really? That's so cool! Thanks! This is gonna be so good! I'm gonna get all the best snacks, and my Lucis is really cool. You'll like him. This is so exciting! You leave ZBD to his preparations, even as the bubble of joy inside you goes a little wobbly. You aren't used to such high expectations from prospective friends. Mostly people just expect you to be an imbecile. I mean, well, it's not like we haven't been that either on accident or on purpose several times in this game. You absolutely can't screw this up. You made a promise to your brand new friend. Unfortunately, that promise is to visit him in a house that is, by his own admission, so far away that not even people who know what the fuck is going on can be asked to find it. You haven't thought this through, but that's never stopped you before. First things first. What old friendships can you call on to help you out? I.e., who is likely to have a vehicle of some kind? You could always call up Tagora and see what he thinks, but you don't want to be too needy with him. Amicia, well, doesn't look tall enough to reach the pedals. Zebra, just no. Yeah, I agree there. You're a strong, independent alien who don't need no troll. You also don't think aliens are allowed on public transit, and you don't know the number for troll taxis. So you'll do crime. Perfect. I like that is what we jump to immediately after. Oh, well, I don't want to bother my friends, and I'm not entirely sure I'm even allowed on public transport, so fuck it, we're gonna steal something. What did Connell do when she stole a car? Punch the lock off with one big fist? You won't be punching off any doors, but eventually you find a car that isn't locked. Almost like someone helpfully left it for you. Sucker. It pricks slightly at your conscience as you slide into the seat and fire up the autopilot, heading out to the country once again. But recently, anything that isn't brutal, indiscriminate violence kind of doesn't faze you. So you stole a car. Big deal. It's not like anybody died. This is it. So begins your gradual slide into total moral what is that word? Iniquity? Oh, I turned my volume down. Yeah, iniquity. Okay. A hardened criminal. That's you. Did CBD actually give the address, or did he just go, oh, I'll get ready for you to get here, and then hang up? ZBD does live pretty far out. He hadn't been exaggerating. You used the time to curl up in the back seat and catch up on some sleep, all the while trying to ignore the fact that the car reminds you of being inside a large, squishy animal. Oh, that's concerning. At least you get a few radio channels out here. Oh, his hive is precious. ZBD's hive is big and buzzing. Literally. You hear a persistent drone of bees, and standing right outside is the boy himself. He's so excited he's bouncing on his toes, clapping his hands together. He has a gold symbol on his shirt. You wonder if he's a psychic. You've finally been here long enough to pick up on racial stereotypes. Go you. You're here. You actually came. I seriously can't believe that someone actually went out of their way to visit me. Well, you don't really have a way to go out of, but you keep that to yourself. You are more than happy to accept the friendship points. CBD leads you into his hive, which, like Skyla's, looks like he made a lot of it himself. There are hanging baskets of flowers and plants everywhere, and a zigzag shelf holding holding up a stack of colorful books. In one corner is a big screen TV and an entertainment center. I'm not gonna lie, this description sounds super cute. ZBD vanishes into another room and leaves you to get comfortable on the big couch, which is unsubtly striped yellow and black. The buzzing is pretty loud in here too, and you look around for bees. You're not thrilled about the bees. You're not thrilled about the bees, honestly. You wish there was some music on your phone to drown them out. Sounds comfy? It does. It sounds like a super cute, comfy little room. You're thinking about following ZBD and seeing if he needs help when your phone starts to vibrate. You look down and recognize Sarava's username. They're back! Okay, save. Something tells me if we answer, Sarava's gonna tell us to get the fuck out of there. Yeah, well, I feel like you'd either go a little bit crazy listening to it, which is entirely possible that's what's happened to ZBD, or you just like eventually completely tune it out. But I know in the beginning it's got to be like the most annoying thing ever. I'm comfy again. Might as well. You have no idea how long ZBD is going to be in there, and if there's anyone with music, it's this troll. Hey, dude. I don't even know if was I even reading them out loud when we did Sarava's routes? Because I don't think so. If we if I was, then I have absolutely no memory of what voice I used for him. Yeah, I don't think so either, because Sarava's like, what, in the first two volumes, right? Like, second volume, I think? Hey, dude. I don't know what voice to give them. So, I'm sure I'll figure it out along the way. Can't believe it took you this long to get a chitter, Lamau. Damn, you're like really lost without my help, huh? It's like you only got 2 followers though, Lamau. I'm sorry, you will never get me to say it either as the acronym or like spelling it out, because to me it's so much more fun to just say Lamau. You can feel the nameless tension in some of the nameless tension, and you bleed away into the thump of the lo-fi chill hop beats murmuring softly through Sarava's mic. If only you could just go spend time with your cool friends and stop making new ones. But even the thought makes your stomach wring itself out like a washcloth. Well, this is a turn of events here. MC, who thirsts for friendship more than like anything else, including life, saying they could they wish they could go hang out with their cool friends and stop making new ones? What? And we're back. There's no point in wishing for things to be different from how they are. You'd do anything for new friends. Anything. You asked them if they have any shitter advice. You know, on how to be a cool guy online. I mean, you definitely came to the right troll. But I don't know if I should be like managing your brand more than I already did. It's just risky for me, you know? It's hard enough to maintain my image as is. Other streamers always on my bulge now. That doesn't mean we can't hang though. I mean, it was really chill last time. Also, I need my clothes back. You sure, Sarava, that you still definitely have their clothes? And that you totally did not destroy them in an epic battle? To save a giant collie. That's cool, no worries or anything. I was just wondering if you wanted to hang out today. If not, it's chill. I got all sorts of shit I can get up to, Lamau. You know how it is. But yeah, let me know. Oh, wow. How did you suddenly become so popular? Maybe this is what happens when you finally get online. Not only are you hanging out with one friend, you've got another one clamoring for your attention. Social media is amazing. You tell Sarava you would love to chill, but you're currently out in the middle of nowhere hanging out with someone else. Maybe Sarava has heard of him? CBD Tongva. Surely everyone on the internet knows each other. I don't know him. Sorry, lol. You spell out ZBD's Twitter handle. Sarava's face does a complicated dance between shock, worry, and wry amusement. Oh, dang. Lamau. What are the odds? Small internet. So Sarava does know him. I mean, I know of him. Man. Awkward. Are you guys tight, though? You tell Sarava that you aren't tight yet. Pretty loose, but you're working on it. Which is why you're currently in the middle of nowhere, sitting on this bee-themed couch. Sarava scratches awkwardly between their horns. Is that like what you go online to do? That whole scene? Scene? The only scene you know about is the friendship scene, and possibly the clown scene, and the meat scene. Actually, you may be in more scenes than you give yourself credit for. And you get the feeling you're right on the edge of another one. You can taste it, and it makes your stomach growl. You tell Sarava that whatever the scene is, you're definitely not part of it. You don't even know what they're talking about. So, what are they talking about? Not to, like, talk shit or whatever. Because God knows golds who live in a glass hive of tenuously curated online social interaction shouldn't throw stones or whatever. Fuck knows I got some shit. I got up to some shit back in the day. But you maybe shouldn't hang out with this dude. Especially when you're like right on the edge of breaking out yourself. I mean, you have to be careful with this shit. See? I told you. I told you Sarava was gonna be like, no, motherfucker, get out of there. Oh, it's out of water. Ah! Nothing happened. Definitely did not almost, yank my headset off in the process of putting my water bottle down. I mean, you have to be careful with that shit. I told you what happened to me. Oh, there's like no punctuation, and my brain just processes it. I think that's supposed to be 2 sentences. I told you what happened to me. Internet fame isn't a joke. They gesture vaguely towards their missing eye. Here, let me just link you. A link pops up in the gripe chat box. You follow it to what appears to be a fanfiction account. Nothing wrong with a little fanfiction. Why do I feel like this is going to be fanfiction of MC and Sarava? You've never been much of a writer yourself, but you're pretty... Oh, but you're pretty pro anybody doing whatever they feel like as long as it's not gruesome murder. You're a real chill dude that way. I mean, right, yeah, same. Lamau. I'm not trying to judge or whatever, but you'll see what I mean. Scroll down. We scroll past the first few pages. Most of these seem to be about some band you've never heard of, and then almost have the end you find. Oh. Oh. Oh, damn. This appears to be a fanfic about Sarava. You don't click through. You kind of get the idea from the tags. Did they tell me what the tags are? Because I want to know what the tags are. Well, Sarava is a big deal after all. You guess it makes sense that people would include them in their fantasies. You do it all the time, in a friend way. How is MC simultaneously like the most accidentally horny and very purposefully sexless character all at once? Yeah. You get what I'm saying now, though. I mean, live your dreams, right, Lamau? Any guy on the internet can write whatever he wants about me, but, like, I don't want to see it. Just a heads up, you know? You get how that could be a little awkward? You tell Sarava that you will be careful with your infant internet fame. Though you doubt anyone will ever write anything about you? Who'd want to read Who'd want to read about your dumb fuck exploits? Understandable. Yeah, Lamau. Come over whenever, I'll smoke you up. Great, more bug ass. You end your call with Sarava and navigate back over to ZBD's fanfiction account. You pick one of the ones not about Sarava. One of the teen rated ones. You don't have anything against erotica, but maybe you'll save it for later. Yeah, Sarava a real one for just being like, oh, that dude, wait, you should probably know this about us. I do find it interesting that there is the implication that MC, at the very least, considered going back and reading it later. You don't know any of these characters, and the context is undoubtedly is doubly indecipherable. The troll music business. But if this really is ZBD's writing, he's pretty good. You have such talented friends. Hey! Sorry I took so long. Shit, ZBD sneaks up from behind. Sneaks up on you from behind. You quickly lock your phone, but apparently not quickly enough. You... How did you find this? Oh god, you went searching for me? I thought we were friends. What? Of course you're friends. Friends don't go digging through each other's shit. I mean, you put it out on the internet. I would have showed you my fic if you just asked. How are we supposed to know about it if you don't mention it, though? You tell them that you absolutely did not go looking for it. Sarava gave it to you when they called you up just now. CBD's face closes down. Is it just you, or has the sound of the bees gotten louder? Oh, right. You're cool. So your cool friend Sarava told you. I see how it is. No, they just called you. You just answer the phone. No, it's fine. I totally get it. Even coming all this way out here, I'm still not a priority. It's fine. It's not even a big deal. I'm totally used to it. You and Sarava. What are you, mate spritz? You are absolutely not mate spritz with Sarava. You are not mate spritz with anyone as far as you know. Fuck. Having so many friends is exhausting. I don't know. I think Sarava would be an interesting one. Oh, really? Well, your life is so great. I get it. You have just so many friends, and you're so popular, and everybody wants to spend time with you. ZBD is crying and not trying to hide it. It's very sad and extremely awkward. You feel terrible. Also, kind of like a dickhead. You're always doing all this complaining about your lot in life, when to tell the truth, you've actually got a lot going for you. Yeah, the boy got some issues. Also a, like, quite impressive crying face. You have all these amazing friends who go out of their way to check up on you and ask if you want to hang out. Of course, all that complaining is just in your internal monologue. It's not like anybody can hear your thoughts. Thank God for that. Well, I'm so glad you and Sarava have each other. Maybe you can go hang out with them and make fun of me some more. You try to tell ZBD you were absolutely not making fun of him. You were just curious about his hobbies and interests. You absolutely want to read his fanfiction. But the kid isn't listening anymore. Fuck. You hope the car has enough gas to get you back to civilization. Yeah, awkward is the best way to describe the emotion on MC's face. Well, let's get that good end. We're gonna let it go to voicemail, even though I really like Sarava. You decide to just let the call go to voicemail. You're busy with a different friend right now, and you can just call them back on your drive home. Or, not home, but the closest you've got right now. It will give you something to do besides sleep. You mess around on your phone for a little bit, filling out your profile on your Titter. Alien Invasion of One. Just here, I guess. That's honestly the best you can come up with. You aren't quite sure how your age would translate to troll years, Sweeps, so you don't bother with that. You've already gained some followers. Sarava retweeted your intro tweet, or chirp, whatever. ZBD comes back in with a tray of snacks and 2 glasses of something bright red that you hope isn't Vago. Or blood, but that goes without saying at this point. Hey, who are you talking to? I heard your phone must go off. You tell him that you weren't talking to anybody. You let the call go to voicemail. Does he really think you're the kind of person who would take a call from someone else while you're having a hang sesh? Heck no. Oh, you didn't have to go and do that. You didn't have to do that. I just like squeak to try to like imitate the like facey. ZBD says that, but he's obviously incredibly happy that you did. He sets the tray down and hops up on the couch next to you. So, what do you want to do? I have a bunch of really cool stuff we could check out, but I didn't want to make you just do whatever I wanted. I know we barely know each other. You tell him that whatever he wants to do is fine with you. You aren't picky in any sense of the word. ZBD seems a little at sea by your lack of an opinion, but eventually he puts on the first episode of a pirate show. This is nice. It's nice for you to just chill for a little while. That he does seem like the type. He keeps looking at you for input, but the extent of your experience with troll pop culture is Remele's knockoffs, and that one shitty romance flick Philippa took you to see. You are not informed enough to have an opinion. You are seriously down for whatever. Maybe he does the same thing with video games for a while, becoming increasingly more distressed. Aww. You feel deep empathy as plight, but also mild annoyance. You understand this unreasonable fear of beefing it in front of your friends. You feel like that pretty much all the time. You eventually suggest to ZBD that you could just watch the last thing he watched on GrubTube. What was he watching? PeachVT has a delicate gray color that you've come to realize is the troll version of a Blanche. See, he reminds me of me and I don't like it. Yeah. That's, yeah, we could do that for sure, but, you know, guys, Grub to Q is, you know, kind of personal. Not that I don't trust you, but if you can't trust randos you met online and invited to your house, who can you trust, right? You feel that way too. You've also felt the overwhelming urge to throw yourself into the arms of strangers since you crash landed down here. You tell CBD that you aren't going to judge him. You don't judge your friends. An overwhelming look of trembling gratitude comes over him, and once again you feel an uncomfortable pulse of empathy. You are used to being the desperate one. You aren't sure how to feel about this turnabout. All this social power. Man, MC's having a, like, very hearty look inward this route, huh? Oh fuck, I was gonna make a sandwich for tomorrow morning and I forgot. Oh well. MC, I get it. I have zero self-preservation skills when the chance for friend shows up. Yeah. Just like, oh. MC sitting here going, I feel like I'm looking in a mirror and I do not like what I see. So in the process of to completely uh just get off topic of the game, I was trying to figure out how, like, reasonably how much something would weigh for shipping costs because Yusan's Halloween merch dropped today and I went and got some and I was trying to figure out how much the shipping would cost whenever that comes around. So I figured, you know, since I'm getting two acrylic sands, I'm just going to weigh my, like, heaviest acrylic sand to figure out, you know, reasonably, if I take that weight and double it, then that'll tell me how much it should, like, the most that it should weigh for shipping. And when that particular one is my Crow Noir 5th anniversary acrylic sand, and when I put it back up, I apparently did not put it at the same angle it was at, and it's Aurora fold, which is really, really pretty. It's absolutely gorgeous. My light keeps hitting it and I keep getting blinded with pink light. I'm going to have to adjust that after stream. Alright, back on track. Okay. So you scroll down through the history on his GrubTube account, and you find yourself choked up by the incredible trust he is showing in you right now. Letting someone behind the curtain. That sounds fun. By the way, when once I get Yusan's Halloween merch that I ordered, that will make 4 different acrylic stands I have for Yusan, which is the largest number, like, per character or per VTuber of acrylic stands or figures that I have, and that used to be topped by that originally was topped by my ROM figures and technically RIM figures, but there's only one displayed on the shelf. The other one is hidden away, um, which was 2 each. And in a couple of weeks, I will have more Kokonoi from Tokyo Revenger stuff. So by the time Yusan stuff gets here, they will be number one for most like merch. And then Kokonoi will be second place because I will have an Android, an acrylic, and two acrylic stands. I was thinking about that after I ordered, and I was like, huh. If I had an extra shelf, I would just make a shelf just for Yusan's acrylic stands because I'm buying them at every fucking drop. I don't care if I gotta get on my hands and knees and beg Master for an allowance like I got as a teenager. I am going to get acrylic stands from every merch drop. I'm very excited about this, and this is the reason why I did not take a nap today, even though I really should have, because I think I slept terribly last night. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like a weird like weather thing or if it was just that I had a day off for the first time in like what was it? Almost 2.5 weeks. And sometimes after I get a day off, after not having a day off for a while, I sleep terribly. But I think I got a total of 4 hours of sleep. And I meant to take a nap. And then I saw the announcement and I got sidetracked. As a result of not having taken a nap, I am very scatterbrained at the moment. Yeah, I assume I'll sleep fine tonight because I will probably be exhausted. By the way, so sometimes I just itch my nose by wiggling my nose, and if I do that, like where the camera can see, it just makes me slightly shake my head. I think it's really cute. All right, back on track, kind of. I don't think there's any tracks today. I made mac and cheese in the middle of the night last night. And like I had made I had made some homemade mac and cheese a few days ago. Oh geez, I guess it's been nearly a week at this point. Um and I had a bit of like the cheese sauce left over because for some reason my cheese sauce did not thicken properly and I'm not entirely sure where I went wrong there. I'll figure it out next time around. So I just sat the extra to the side. Because after I baked the mac and cheese, it did thicken up properly. I think that the cheese didn't melt into it like it was supposed to. And I was impatient and hungry. Um, but when I was making my mac and cheese last night, I just used like cheese powder. And instead of milk and butter, I just tossed in the extra cheese sauce. And it was amazing. Now I kind of want more mac and cheese. I can't eat mac and cheese for every meal. Alright, so let's actually get back on track. Since I said get back on track and then immediately distracted myself again. There doesn't really seem to be anything worth getting stressed over. No porn or anything. He does have a lot of videos of Sarava. Specifically the ones where they're actually on camera. Oh yeah, they're so cool. It's so rad that you guys are tight. I really want to meet them someday. Are we being used to the stepping stool here? Because that's what it kind of feels like. He sighs. Then he sighs again, a little louder. You catch on to your part in this bit and tell him that you can probably figure out a way to make that happen. I hope you don't have to follow through on that. Sarava's a busy guy, and you aren't sure they actually let anyone into their hive. Well, besides you. But you seem to be the exception to a number of rules. You keep that last part to yourself. The rest of his videos in his recent history are about a band called Hatch to Dance. Music videos, interviews, a compilation of vlogs. You ask him what all this is. You've never heard of H2D? Really? They're so cool. They're my fave. I mean, he gets shifty-eyed. I mean, whatever. They're alright, I guess. Their music is kind of catchy, and they have a pretty dope group dynamic. You mentioned that all of them seem to be pretty good looking too. Really? You think so? You point out a guy with tall horns that swoosh into hooks and a lot of white hair that falls into his eyes. This guy is particularly handsome. Him? I mean, he's okay, I guess. If you're really basic. Not that I think you're basic or anything. He shows you some of the music videos. They have really high production values and extremely elaborate sets. All the band members sing and dance and get very close to kissing each other. He'd been really nervous about showing you this. His deep dark secret was he likes music videos. Is being into pretty pop stars some kind of cultural taboo? I mean, if it was, it ain't anymore. Not really. Just, it's kind of lame, right? And I really just want you to like me. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. And you do like him. You just wish he wouldn't say shit like that. It's embarrassing. So is he supposed to be like your standard self-depreciating, like K-pop fan kind of character? Yeah, cool. Yeah. Okay. And it also reminds you that you yourself have gone around doing pretty much the same thing. Pretending to agree with everything your prospective friends say. Lying. Saying you're into things you aren't. Just all around being a big phony. The circumstances are different for you, though. You're an alien. This is a hostile territory. You don't have a hive or a lucis or even horns. So it's way less pathetic for you to be like this than it is for ZBD. Right? Deep down, you know you're full of shit. You're just coming up with reasons to excuse your behavior in yourself and condemn it, and that you can. Wow, words. Let's try that one from the beginning. You're just coming up with reasons to excuse behavior in yourself that you condemn in others. You hang your head in shame. ZBD, who is not privy to your internal monologue, looks confused. Is it possible that you're doing the wrong thing in your eternal quest for friends? Could it be that before you can spiral any further into a full-blown existential crisis, you hear a noise from outside that you really, really don't like? Several noises, in fact. A crash, followed by a thump. Followed by a "Get out here, you fucking piece of shit! You thief!" Oh dear. CD scrambles around to look over the back of the couch. You just make out a shape through the window. Hey, this is a totally wild question that I typically would never ask a potential friend, but did you steal that scuttle buggy? Funny story. You didn't know how else you to get out here. You did it for him. For your what the fuck is that word? Nascent. Especially a process or fuck words organization just coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential. Okay, for your nascent friendship. Oh wow, nobody's ever stolen a scuttle buggy from me before. Did you forget to take the GPS chip out though? Because I think whoever you stole it from found it. GPS chip. Right. Fuck. This is not an auspicious start to your life of crime. Maybe you aren't quite ready to go at it alone yet. Another crash and scuttle. It sounds like someone is taking pieces out of ZBD's hive. You get up and start for the door. Hey, what are you doing? You can't just go out there. You can't go out there. They look big. And they sound huge. You'll get killed. You're right. He's definitely got a point there. But whoever is outside seems intent on demolishing his hive brick by brick. So they're gonna get in eventually anyway. Better for you to go out there now and face the music so at least one of you gets out of this. Oh, he's gonna cry over that. CBD stares at you. Weirdly globby golden tears pull at the corners of his eyes. You, you would do that? For me? Nobody's ever offered to die for me before. Oh, I can't squeak like that anymore. What happened? That's so nice! Yeah, you're pretty nice. Also pretty idiotic considering you're about to give yourself up to a big angry troll whose car you absolutely stole. Well, it's been fun while it lasted. Actually, it's been mostly terrible. Oh well. Goodbye, cruel world. Wait! You have one hand on the doorknob when ZBD's shout rings against the walls and ceiling. No one is touching my new friend! Outside, the buzzing rises to a rattling crescendo, so loud that it no longer sounds like animals. It sounds like weather or a fighter jet. The intruder screams. Oh no. Are we about to have this dude murder somebody for us with bees? You wince, but you are also overwhelmed by gratitude and excitement. ZBD did that for you. The screams stop after a few seconds, and the buzzing gradually recedes. You and ZBD are left staring at the door, then at each other. Behind you, Grub2 is auto-playing a HTD interview. Little ambient crackles of the white electricity you've come to associate with psychics re ZBD before that fades too. Did he seriously gather up a bunch of telekinetic bees and just throw them? Um, no, that sounds hard and potentially dangerous for me. Oh, uh, distracting again. I have had a realization about the chair, which is that I don't know if it's actually uncomfortable or if me, my ADHD, and trying to sit in this chair without like shuffling around too much, it just makes me feel like it's uncomfortable because I'm constantly adjusting because you know there's a lot of energy and nowhere for it to go, and I don't sit still. So it might not be. I mean, I don't doubt that the chair is uncomfortable, but I think most of my discomfort is coming from me being me and not being able to sit still properly. I guess the only way to figure out if it's the chair or if it's just me would be to get a new chair. But I'll just deal with this for a while longer. I can feel another. Yawn. Boy has mastered the power of bees. Yeah, apparently. Damn. I more just asked them nicely. I'm bad at it though. Sometimes it doesn't work. Well, it sure worked this time. Yeah. ZBD nods. Then he nods again. Okay, so this sprite is adorable, but it does also look like you just drew a face on an egg. Yeah, that's right. It was pretty cool, right? Wow, I did not read that at all correct. Yeah, that was pretty cool, right? Egg boy. The two of you venture outside to see what's going on. Nothing is going on. The night is quiet. The car is exactly where you left it, and there's no sign of the bees or the intruder. Like clown faces. Yeah. So either they ran away or got stuck so many times they dissolved into sludge. You feel another pang of conscience, but it's not enough to cover up your ecstatic surge of happiness when you see how chuffed ZBD is to have set some bees on a guy. Aww. Oh, why are you getting closer? Why are you getting further? Oh, okay. You tell him you're grateful. You think about adding that you're proud of him, but you don't want to literally make him explode. You let him hug you instead. Oh, okay, that was a hug. I guess this means you have a scuttlebuggy now? Yeah, spoils of war. You want some buttery exploded kernels? I make them myself. Well, I put the kernels in a pot and explode them. Yeah. You tell him that sounds great. He's honestly pretty fun to visit. Minus the sudden attack, you're having a really nice time, and that part was honestly entirely your fault. He should quit putting him down. He should quit putting himself down so much and being such a desperate piece of shit. God damn. Um, let's see. I think you're looking in the mirror again. You mean that in the nice? Actually, no. MC has like a lot of confidence in themselves, yet at the same time has no confidence in themselves. You mean that in the nicest way possible, and it's pretty good advice in general. You know, just to have floating out there. Hmm. We finally we can be friends. Hopefully, MC character development. Hopefully. Yeah, Sarava was fine too. Alright, so on to the JoJo character. In an utterly unsurprising turn of events, the night finds you trolling Alternia in search of, well, trolls. The friendly type, preferably. Although you have been known to work wonders with hostile folks, too. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Why did I read it like that? Let's try that again. I read it like I was asking a question. Your current hunting ground appears to be a primarily teal neighborhood, which suits you fine. Teals live relatively comfortably and are usually only mildly disdainful of you. This strikes you as a good place to search for companionship. Alright. I reckon tonight's just gonna be full of yawns. Sorry about that. You've got another pressing concern, though. A faint glow far on the horizon, which suggests that the sun will be rising soon. A couple hours from now at most. Nights on Alternia seem to last forever, but when the daylight hits, it hits hard. Like a truck. But the truck is on fire. And the fire is nuclear fusion. And the truck is a star. The point is, you're not in the mood for another sunburn. You better snag a buddy before it's too late. You, the strange hornless thing. Hold on, it like seems to be quite loud. Is this better? I like this theme. This is like, I like this. Wait a second. Are the where you can see like the fingertips like this? Are fingerprints like swirls drawn on all of them? Or is this a unique part of this one's character? It makes me feel like I'm like going into a boss battle. Speak of the devil. You whip around and spot a troll boy with a stylish hat and a sword sheath behind his back. His clothes are a little shabby, but he carries himself with a rigid, composed air. I don't know what... Look, I don't do good at voices, but I really don't know what kind of voice to give this one. You think it might be unique to him? Interesting. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm really oblivious. Like, really, really oblivious. So sometimes I don't notice things until, like, way down the line. One of the lab assistants hung up a like, wind chime outside of the front door, like, directly in front of the front door. And one day, I, like, walked out and noticed it and backed up and said, "Hey, how long has this been hanging up?" And she said, and I quote, "Oh, it's been here a couple of months." It's literally right in, like, you walk to the door looking straight out and you see it. Like, I don't even know. So it wouldn't have surprised me if I had missed fingerprints on characters the entire time. Yeah. Kind of like me, and anytime I'm out somewhere and somebody flirts with me, if I am with friends, they will pull me to the side and go, "Do you realize what just happened, or are you totally oblivious to it?" Oh, it may have happened again. Oh, so I was at the store yesterday getting myself a present for being, a big boy and going to the doctor like I'm supposed to. And I was chatting, like the cashier was like chatting me up, talking about my Hatsune Miku wallet. And in hindsight, I think it might have been flirting. Whoops. I feel like I should just like publicly apologize to everyone that I've realized like days later that was flirting with me. Just like, it's not that you're bad at flirting. It's not that like you're not attractive. I'm just dumb as fuck. One time, when I was at the cell phone store to get a new phone, the cashier there, like, I was having trouble deciding between two of these, what the fuck are they called, pop sockets or whatever. And I was like, I think I'll go with this one, and maybe next time I'll get the other one. And she just like casually takes it off of the rack and goes, "Here, I'll give you this one too." I was It was not until like a week later that I was talking about it with a friend that my friend went, "Peach, you're an idiot. That was flirting. So don't just give out pop sockets." Oh, I feel so bad. But I feel like that one would have had, like, I was real dumb not to notice that one, apparently. This is why I play, like, romance games and don't do romance out there in the real world, because, I really only notice that kind of stuff if it is scripted and, like, neon signs are pointing to it. Four free cookies! Yeah, I would have just been like, oh, it probably would have been like a talk, like telling my friends about it kind of thing, and being like, huh, that was kind of unique and like different. Not something I usually encounter. If that had happened to me, I okay, I drove by the cell phone shop the other day while I was out and about because it's in the same town as what I was getting. What does that mean? Translators not plan means tactile content. I don't even know how to say that word. Yeah, I legit almost stopped by the cell phone shop to apologize to her for not noticing if she was still there. Because it's been like a, almost 2 years since I got that phone. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That is a beautiful meme, by the way. Alright, let's figure out what voice to attempt here. Search and void. Ah! I have to say, if you forced me to guess without telling me, I probably would have guessed those two. Oh, hello, Sushi! I have realized the flaw in my plan, Sushi, but you're already comfy. There we go. What are you? Some kind of mutant troll? Or another sentient creature? Definitely the latter, you say. I don't press any buttons. I will put you in the sling. Here we go. Definitely the latter, you say. Unless you would prefer the former, in which case you're that, actually. But mutants you've learned are not particularly well liked on this planet. I like how MC just like had a whole character arc, and the other character in this volume about like just agreeing with things even if it's a lie and stuff like that, and immediately does not learn their lesson. Why are you growling, little one? Is that better? An alien? I won't have to cull you then. Not immediately, at least. You don't appear to be a cull-on-sight species. There's something about this sprite, the way he's holding his glasses, and the hat that makes me think, and I think the bangs, the like fringe in front of his face, that makes me think of Rampo from Bungo Stray Dogs. Lucky for you that I won't have. Lucky for you that I won't have to loose my blade, and lucky for me to have found a potential comrade. Ah, true. True. So it's like divergent timelines that converge for the next volume. I bet you are irritable. You're teething. I know what you seek. Shelter and friendship. Not necessarily in that order. You're about to speak up, but he's already moving on. You seek the meeting place of the Eastern Alternian Fine Animated Art Appreciation Society. Oh, we got a weeb. Or as some less cultured souls would call it, the Anime Club. Oh, a club! Back home, teachers used to go on and on about how clubs were a wonderful place to meet new friends. You didn't really believe it then, but maybe things are different here in Alternia. You confidently assert that yes, you are here for the animes. Good. I feared I was going to have to cancel tonight's meeting due to no-shows. But now I can proceed as scheduled. Follow me. Yeah, more proof that MC has 0 friends. Yeah. If there were clubs at my high school, I didn't know about them. Like, I mean, there was FFA, of course, and there was some kind of like business club, I think. Because I think they were the ones that sold the chocolate bars. And band, but I don't know if band counts as a club. But like, if we had like a theater club or something, they did not publish it. Like, they did not publicize that shit at all. Oh, there was also a yearbook club. He gestures towards his hive and begins to stride confidently towards it. But then he rethinks it, pausing to look back at you. There were clubs at mine, but they were not well organized, and I was a bus rider, so yeah. Yeah, I spent most of my time, my high school time as a bus rider too. So, like, I guess even if there were clubs, I wouldn't have been able to go to them. Wait, subs or dubs? Oh, fuck. I know the answer to this. I know what the answer is going to be. Because if we're going with stereotypical weeb, the answer is dubs. No, subs. I still don't know words. I will watch whatever one sounds the best to me at that moment. But I know that the like weeb stereotype is subs over dubs. So I'm going to go with that last. I'm gonna start with dubs. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. Perfect. A fellow connoisseur. Let's continue. Yo, I am full on listening to your room. Tagiri invites you to his hive with a sweeping bow, and you step into the foyer. The hive looked normal from the outside, normal by troll standards, at least. But the inner decor has an entirely different vibe to it. It reminds you of Japanese architecture. Tagiri takes off his sandals before entering the next room. You'd take off your shoes too if you had any. Wait, where'd the heels go? Because I thought we were wearing heels. As you step into his living room, you are assaulted, not literally thankfully, by an absolute smorgasbord of merchandise. This place looks like someone did a Gorgle search for Otaku collection and opened up the first result. Okay. Yeah, you can. So, if it wasn't for the fact that so much of my room needs to be taken up by bookshelves, I would do some stuff like that. Like, I would, like, redo things so that I could have, like, a, like, full-on glass shelf like that to display all my stuff. And get, what are they called? You know what? I think it is. Like, I think the one on the bottom shelf that, you know, looks like the little robots from Nier is a reference to that. Up at the top is Luffy from One Piece. The two that are like paired up on the second shelf, I know is a reference to something, and I know what it's a reference to, I just cannot think of it. My brain wants to say hi hi Puffy Yumi, but I don't think that's right. And I can't look at the poster without seeing Zora from One Piece. I know that that's probably not what it's supposed to be a reference to, but that's what I think of. I can't. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the pose. There's just so much to look at in here. Posters and scrolls adorn every inch of wall available, and the inches of wall that aren't available are blocked by shelves containing all sorts of DVDs, manga, and other such forms of media. On a large glass shelving unit near the room's exit, you spy a veritable cornucopia of anime figurines, most of whom seem to be in varying states of undress. I'd say something, but I'd say something about that. But depending on how popular the anime is, sometimes it is very hard to find ones that don't seem like they're just like trying to take their clothes off. Like I have a ROM like bunny one that's really pretty and I love it. And I'd kind of actually like to get the Rim bunny to go with it, but at the same time I don't want my Rim figures to outnumber my ROM figures because ROM best girl. And I will fight people on that one. But like the other ones I have are like a pair set of like, beach ones that are like little bikini ones for Rim and Rom, and then I think the other Rim one, I think it's like a like wedding lingerie one. That don't fight. I feel like I should like get a chart for the letters and actually like properly learn it so that I can start reading stuff. Are you just gonna like sit there? So long as you sit there nicely, you can stay there. Okay. I can feel a hiccup. I think those are the only ones that are like just on your. Yeah, that is what it means. Just a sign in your house that just says boobs. Well, I mean, I imagine that there's worse things that have signs, though. I wouldn't really put it over my bedroom door, but you do you. I mean, it could be weirder. You you could like have some of those like uh adult fun time uh, chess pieces just hanging up there instead or something. You would like to describe it as tasteful nudity, but you would also like to describe yourself as the most popular person on Alternia, and both would be a lie. turned my head wrong and got blinded by Cronoir again. Tagiri has arranged his merch meticulously according to blood color, from red at the bottom to fuchsia at the top. Oh, interesting. No, don't chew on the... Don't chew on that. Okay, Sushi likes chewing on the corners of electronics if I'm using them. And one time I dropped my phone and it like cracked the screen protector. That's all fine and dandy. She bit the corner of it, like where it cracked at, the other day, and bit it just right so that it cracked again. So now there's a crack like where there was one just like across the like top edge of my phone. There's a crack like straight down my phone screen protector now because of her teeth. Yeah, she wants to chew. She's losing her baby teeth and growing in her adult teeth, so she really is chewy. And she's jelly. I see you're admiring my fine East Alternian collectibles. I polish them daily just as I polish my blade. Uh-huh. Meanwhile, I haven't dusted my anime shelf since I put it together like 3 months ago. Should probably do that one day. There's just so much stuff on it. I need to get one of them, Swiffer, like the little Swiffer, duster things. That would make it a whole lot easier. I need to dust all of my shelves. Actually, it's been longer than 3 months. I think I put that shelf together in, like, February or something. Instead of dusting it off, I just add more things to it, and that probably sounds terrible, but, like, if I take it all off, I'm never going to get it back up there in the same position, and I know it. Don't touch them, or you'll taste folded steel. You slowly retract your hand. You wouldn't dream of touching them. That was never, ever something you were planning on doing. You won't even breathe on them. In fact, you step far away from the collectibles, just in case. Yeah, doggy. With that step, you bump into something behind you and hear a soft ruff. As you spin around to look, you see what must be Tagiri's Lucis surveying you with an intense gaze. It looks like a Shiba Inu if they were twice the size and had opposable everything. Honestly, watching it scuttle around like a monkey while sniffing at you is pretty entrancing. Eventually, you seem to meet its standards because it darts out of the room and you hear some rustling in what you assume is the kitchen? That was Tadashi Inu, my Lucis. He taught me everything I know. I could not have asked for a better sensei. Yeah, dogs are great, you respond. And then immediately wish you could take it back. Dogs are great? That's gonna be the blandest possible statement you could have made. Hey, don't be breathing. And possibly inaccurate too. What's this thing called? A bark beast? A fetch fiend? A wolf gremlin? Oh, Tagiri isn't even paying attention to you anymore. He's busy perusing his shelves, picking out some DVDs. Per my viewing schedule, we'll watch a carefully curated selection of episodes from one classic and from one recent release. But, Since you're a newcomer, it might be best not to jump into the middle of last bout series. Philosopher Half Iron. Is that supposed to be a reference to Full Metal Alchemist? Which, by the way, amazing anime. I have like one of those little like mega volume things that has like 3 volumes in one. I have the first one of those for Full Metal Alchemist because I want to read it too. Of course, the Alchemist assistant really wants to read the Alchemist related. Anyway. Perhaps we shall instead begin with the first season of School Fed Heroism and transition into some episodes of Kismet Suck Morning. I feel like I should know what these two are a reference to. But I don't know. Not gonna lie, I'm looking it up right now to see if there's like a thing somewhere that tells me which animes these are references to. Too much effort, I'll figure it out later. The original airing, of course. Not the censored one with the ridiculous CGI dragon. Looks like Tagiri intends to take full control of the morning's activities, which you find entirely what was his name? Zeus. Copacetic. In excellent order. The lab assistant that was out of town that sleeps with their door open is back, which means that I can't just like let Sushi out whenever she gets zoomies while I'm streaming to run around, because then I am worried that I'll accidentally wake them up. Which means that she just torpedoes around my room. The less you need to assert your own opinions and make your own choices, the less likely you are to fuck up. Well, you're not wrong, MC. That's probably not a healthy way to live, but it's gotten you somewhere between 1 to 19 friends so far. So you're sticking to it. With deft and precise movements, Tagiri retrieves a disc from its container and pops it in the troll equivalent of a DVD player. So, once again getting sidetracked. So I have a bunch of CDs for OnStars and Paradox Live and Hypnosis Mic and stuff. And I don't remember what show it was that said that they had 3 copies of... I think it was a show. But anyways, they had 3 copies of everything, like every, I don't remember if it was CDs or games or movies or what, but 3 copies. One to stay wrapped up and put on a shelf for display, one to open and use for yourself, and one to open and let others borrow. And I have been so tempted to just do that with all of my CDs and Blu-rays and stuff. But I have the smallest form of self-restraint. But I did drop one of my OnStar CDs like right after I got it, and like I dropped it on the steering wheel of the truck. And it didn't hit that hard, but it managed to scratch it. And I was so mad because it had been on back order when I ordered it, which means that I had waited quite a while for it. And I imported it from Japan, so I paid a pretty penny for it because I got this CD not long after the English version released. Like, not long after the English version of the Ensemble Stars game released. So, like, all of the CDs and stuff were, like, not geared towards an international audience. So it's not like I could just, like, hop on an international website and order them. But it had scratched it just a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, that does piss me off, and I'm seriously considering going back and ordering another one, like, and just leaving this one as, like, a display piece to never be touched again. But, it skipped for a long while, specifically in the truck, and, like, would not skip on my CD player in my room. And now it doesn't skip in either. Which I am aware that makes no sense. But that's just the way it is. And it was like very specific, very specifically only on like the second song. And it was only at like the very end of it. So it's not like it skipped throughout the whole thing. Oh, I have gotten completely off topic. Okay, back on track. It makes a slimy chugging noise. Ew. As it sucks the disc in, and like usual, you aren't sure if it's an inanimate object or a living being. Either way, you're a little disgusted. The DVD player hums, and Tagiri's TV lights up with a colorful title screen. You're ready to get settled in for a journey through a wonderful world of the animes, but he frowns and pauses the episode less than a minute in. Hang on. This isn't the correct copy. The localization on these lines was changed after the original translator was culled by a purple blood for crimes against buffoonery. That was a string of words. I specifically ordered the first edition and paid extra for it. This is unacceptable. My dude, did you? So just about any time I order an anime, on Blu-ray, when I get it, I, like, open it up and play it and make sure that it's exactly what I actually ordered. I figured that's the way most people would do things. Am I just slightly paranoid about things not being what they say? Like, the moment I got Jujutsu Kaisen 0, like, I took off the plastic, I opened it up, I looked at it real nicely, and I put it in the Blu-ray player because I was like, what if it doesn't actually have English subtitles? Despite it despite it being like the deluxe edition and it specifically listed that it had English subtitles. That one's also imported. That's why I was so particular about it having the English subtitles. I was too impatient for it to release in America. When I watched that, okay, so I don't know if this tells you how much of a favorite Jujutsu Kaisen Zero is for me, but I went to see it in theaters. When I got my ticket, they were like, "Oh, do you want the English dub or the subtitled one?" Because the subtitled one doesn't start for like another 45 minutes, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just do the English one." I watched it, walked out, like walked completely out of the building, paused for a couple of seconds, turned around, walked back in, and went, "So when's the next showing for the subtitled one?" And then immediately, and it was like in 15 minutes or something. So I was like, okay, I'll take a ticket to that. So I watched it back to back, English and subtitles. I also technically have 2 copies of the manga for it. Because I have the first one that I ordered that halfway through just becomes Chainsaw Man. That I have tucked away as a, like, cool, look at this thing. That doesn't happen very often kind of thing. And I have the one that's, like, actually Jujutsu Kaisen Zero all the way through. I just like Yuta. I think Yuta and Rika are, like, top tier characters. And it also gives me Geto, but alive. Or I just like started vibing with the music. Tagiri stops the DVD player, ejects the disc, and places it back in its case. Come. There's still time in the night. We need to go resolve this immediately. The shop that imported it for me is nearby. I'm trying my best to be like, I don't know what I'd call it. Maybe like anime protagonist voice, where it feels like I sound like I'm trying too hard no matter what. He heads for the door and beckons you to follow. Which you do. You guess it was too much to hope for a quiet morning inside, wasn't it? Unless you get to go shopping for animes, which sounds fun enough. Will it be at one of those fancy automated stores, you wonder? What does that mean? Fancy... What? Fancy automated stores. Have we been inside in any stores in Alternia? Or is... No. Unlike most stores on Alternia, this specialty shop is run by a living troll. Oh, okay. So at some point we have been in a shop. A fellow collector who would not entrust such work to automation. So one I would expect with an actual think pan involved. There would be no careless mistakes like this. At least I'm on good terms with the owner, so I doubt there will be trouble. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Oh yeah! I forgot about that. Then again, I also, like, have turned off the thinking part of my brain for the night. No thoughts, head empty. I almost finished that with Cargon. I can't explain why I say no thoughts, head empty, Cargon. It just feels like it should go together. You, on the other hand, expect plenty of it. Pretty much everything on this goddamn planet has been trouble so far. Does he know how awful it is here? You don't want to human-splain to him or anything, but things are pretty awful here. Things are pretty awful here. Oh, you guess he knows. He's staring at one of the many billboards that line the streets, which has been defaced with bright red graffiti. It's saying some pretty nasty stuff about Trizza. Rebel sentiments grow by the moment. Alternia lies on the verge of peril. A blade's edge. And not any blade, but the blade of a razor-sharp, folded steel katana. Forged under the East Alternian moonlight. Heated by the bellows of a magnificent draconian Lucis. Cooled by the shimmering cascade of an acid waterfall. And fit to be handled only by a true expert. Do you dance? You're a little caught off guard by that question. Dancing? As in moving one's body to music? What other dancing would there be, MC? I mean, I get we're on Alternia, but like, pretty sure dancing would be dancing. I mean, I might be wrong. The sparkle moves. In a way, yes. Moving to the sweet music of steel on steel, the rhythm of combat, the stiletto step that weaves death and glory into one beautiful motion. Do you dance? Oh, sword fighting, of course. You really should have figured that one out. The guy's style has only two settings. Talking about swords or talking about anime. Sometimes he gets particularly frisky and talks about both at once. You tell him that you don't know how to handle swords, but they seem really cool and you'd love to learn. Cool? Swordplay is more than cool. It's a way of life, a code of honor. To pick up the blade is to bind yourself to the tenets of Bushido. And be prepared at all times to enforce justice the only way a swordsman knows, through steel. Someday, the pursuit of justice may bring me face to face with these rebel scum. I must be ready to show them the truth. The true magnificent terror of the blade. Who knows? Maybe I would even be awarded a Congressional Medal of Honor? A troll can dare to dream. So that's why you practice the swordplay, huh? To enforce justice, kind of like a vigilante? Vigilante? Please. I would only ever cull a troll who legally deserved death. What kind of lawless moron do you take me for? You don't take him for a moron at all. In fact, he's very smart and clever and just... Oh, I thought that was gonna be like and just blah blah blah. You hope you're not laying it on too thick, but he seems to enjoy the praise. Ah, we're here. This won't take too long. He's taking you to a night market that reminds you of the place where you met Philippa. A strip mall lies to the left of the many tents and stalls, and a sign above one door reads Super Topato Imports. I don't know what that accent was. As you enter, Tagiri makes a beeline for the counter, which is manned by a greasy-looking Goldblood with pinkish-looking eyes. You, on the other hand, are more interested in the rest of the store. It looks a lot like Tagiri's living room, but bigger. Oh, I like the Mega Man, is that... Anyways, I like the Mega Man reference there. The anime figurines on sale for what looks to be a preposterous amount of money. DVDs and comics lining the shelves. Arcade games in the corner. There's even a section for replica swords, which all look far too sharp and legitimately deadly for your liking. I don't think they're replica swords at that point. I think they're just swords that happen to look like other swords. Skulking between the shelves is an olive blood guy. You can't quite tell if he works here or if he's just browsing. You're not sure if any trolls even have normal jobs. You're about to ask the olive guy about a particularly interesting DVD when you're distracted by a commotion at the counter. Ah, fuck. You're pretty sure you heard Tagiri snarling something about his rights as a consumer? Looks like trouble is brewing. You turn your head toward the counter and listen in. Do you really think you can get away with ripping me off like this? Do you know who I am? My blood caste? A teal blood like me has connections, a vast network of like-minded souls at my beck and call, ready to be unsheathed against my hapless foes. The legal force I can bring to bear against you is greater than your puerile mind could ever imagine. I don't know what that word means. Let me look it up. Puerile. Childishly, childishly, silly, and trivial. Karen with a katana. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. A fleet of legislaturators will descend on you like shadow clones, each armed with the greatest weapon of them all, knowledge. And with our intricate understanding of the Alternian legal code, you will be mired in suits so myriad, so mind-numbing, you will wish for swift and early death my blade can provide. Or you can offer me an exchange of equal or greater value to my original purchase. Which path will you choose to walk, scum? You wander closer to the counter, hoping you might be able to resolve the situation. But instead you blunder right into the olive blood and send the box stumbling from his hands to the ground. I think it is. Like, I don't remember the exact wording of the Navy SEAL copy pasta, but it does remind me of it, so it might be. A bunch of assorted products spill out as the shopkeeper gasps dramatically. You don't see what the big deal is. It looks like some more DVDs and manga. Oh, it's hentai, ain't it? One cover features a troll with heart-shaped horns and a bright pink sign. And another features some red-blooded douchebag wearing pants way too... What? Wearing pants way too tall for him? Tagiri picks up one of the mangas and waves it in front of the shopkeeper's face. Care to explain what I'm looking at here? Imperial Dictate. Number the second. Section 3.2. Depiction of non-standard hemological attributes is strictly forbidden. Is he a buzzkill? Imperial Dictate. Number the 7th. Section 5. Material which encourages action against the state is considered contraband to the highest degree. The Olive Blood, who can clearly see the situation careening downhill like a scuttle buggy without wheel stops, begins to creep toward the door. You'd love to do the same, but you can't give up on a potential new friendship. It's basically pathological. Yeah, it is. To think that my favorite Eastern Alternian hobby shop could stoop so low as to peddle this criminal filth. What a sickening betrayal. The shopkeeper stammers, offering a litany of muddled explanations that only seem to incense Gary further. He was holding it for a friend. No, wait, it's satire? Oh. Wait, has he not had his eyes open the entire time? Oh. Also, that sprite is nice. The hands are so, like, very nice. Hands so very nice. Tagiri slams a palm down on the counter, and his eyes shoot open, revealing dark purple irises with a strange swirl pattern. Imperial Dictate. Number the 61st. Section 2. Satire is especially contraband. You think you can mess with me? I've watched countless hours of legal drama, played and replayed legendary Legislacerator, and memorized every twist. I know the law back and forth. And now, it's time for the punishment due. You're fucking dead, kiddo. As Tagiri leans over the counter, his free hand grips the hilt of his katana and tenses, ready to draw. He's about to straight up execute this guy. I feel like I'm also going to get murdered if I defend the shopkeeper. But I gotta do it. Okay, you know this is a terrible idea, but you've seriously had it up to here with being party to the murder of random trolls. You quickly interpose yourself between Tagiri and the Goldblood. Does he really have to kill this guy for what seems to be his first offense? You launch into an impassioned spiel about love and friendship and justice, writing the value of friendship and second chances really hard. And for good measure, you throw in a little side note about how Tagiri's favorite shop will close down if he kills this dude. Silence. Tagiri shoves you roughly to the side and you go careening into a display full of body pillows. At least we had a soft landing. Hopefully. You watch, stomach plummeting, as Tagiri turns back to the shopkeeper and slowly draws a sword. But then, at the last second, he reconsiders. Consider yourself lucky I'm in a good mood. If I catch you selling contraband again, your life will be mine. Tagiri strides out of the store, holding a fresh copy of the DVD he wants to exchange. You give the shopkeeper a vaguely apologetic look and rush out of the store behind him. That was a close one. You thank Tagiri profusely for listening to your dumb little speech about whatever it was you said. Honestly, you already forgot. You're clearly new to this planet. I felt pity for your naivety. But I should have just killed him. Death is the legally prescribed punishment for such crimes as his. Actually, it's the legally prescribed punishment for most crimes. I should have separated him from his head. But I looked into your pleading eyes and I saw. Here goes quiet. You would describe the silence as being particularly brooding. There's a lot of silence like that on this planet. Then finally he speaks. Before I continue, is this about to turn into like a weird romance anime trope? instead of like a shonen anime. This isn't my first time. It was just over a week ago, I believe. I was patrolling the Hive Badge in search of evildoers when I caught the unmistakable scent of smoke in the air. Upon pursuing the lead, I saw a hive, partially collapsed, partially on fire. My instincts flared, and I rushed in to help the innocent soul who was trapped there. But as I was helping the girl bandage her wounds, it occurred to me that I had made a grievous error in judgment. Trolls below a certain age without a lusus or a proper hive are considered unviable and slated to be culled. By rights, I should have put her out of her misery the moment I realized my mistake. And yet, I looked deep into her gray. I looked into her deep gray eyes, dulled from the pain of loss, and I sheathed my blade. In fact, even though she is hiveless and lususless, I remain in contact with her to this day, knowing deep down that one day I must cull her. The law demands it. But I haven't yet. I don't know if I could. Why does my conviction waver at times like these? If he's talking about who you think he's talking about, you're pretty sure he couldn't kill her even if he tried. Wait, who is he talking about? Who do we think he's talking about? I'm trying to remember which of the trolls we've interacted with that are lususless. That's not the point here. The point is he's spilling some real and true and deep emotion with you. Oh, Philippa. That was going to be my first guess, but I didn't want to guess that and be like totally wrong. This friendship is basically in the bag. Just gotta drop some sweeping, vague wisdom that makes him feel better about potentially not being an unthinking cog in an alternating letter machine. You offer a light suggestion that maybe what is legal and what is just aren't always the same thing. Just a little thought. Maybe he's doing the right thing, overlooking her situation because of how obviously fucked up it is to be a homeless orphan. He got silent for a long time, chewing his bottom lip. You're naive. Naive, uncultured, unenlightened. Wow, thanks. That seems like the kind of response I would give, not gonna lie. You think the world is simple, like a cartoon for children. But this is Alternia, a land ruled by cold logic, where men such as myself must make the hard decisions. It's not easy, being dedicated to the code of law. It asks much of us and gives us little in return. But it gives us order, keeps the beasts at bay. If I were to question it, what then? Would I begin to wonder if it is unjust for a blue blood to command his servants? For imperial drones to cull the infirm? For us to obey the ever-changing whims of the Alternian royalty? It takes a lot of effort to suppress your, well, yeah. But for the sake of this burgeoning friendship, you allowed him to continue his monologue. Riots in the streets. Troll killing troll. Even more than usual, I mean. No, I cannot waver. These hands must remain steady and true. Though I feel a pull toward the scorching fangs of the light, I must continue my path and remain in the tender, righteous embrace of the dark. Truth be my blade, intellect be my sensei, and justice my only companion on this lonely road. He goes on like that for quite a while. It all starts to muddle together in your head, and you lose count of how many times he's repeated some screed about justice and truth and being smarter than all the other trolls in the room. It honestly sounds to you like he's just lonely. Over dramatic dork, yeah. I like him. Like, aside from the Kieran moment that he pulled in the store, I like him. Except for the, like, hands landing on the table and opening his eyes and oh, that was, mm-hmm. You know a whole lot about loneliness, and the poor management thereof. Some people throw themselves into their nerdy anime hobby, and others become obsessed with making friends no matter the cost of their mental or physical well-being. Maybe he just needs a couple of good pals to remind him what it's like to have a heart. But if you try to tell him that, he'll probably just respond with another long and winding monologue. Likely stolen from an anime you watched recently. Maybe you should just let him vent. You have my thanks for lending an ear. Oh, a compliment brings you out of your reverie. Nothing interrupts the old introspection machine like the opportunity to chug on the succulent ambrosia that is any kind of praise or gratitude. It's no big deal, you tell him. You're a great listener. That's what friends are for. Has he considered having more friends like you, for example? He opens his mouth like he's about to reiterate the whole lone swordsman thing, so you hastily try to change the subject. What's with his eyes? Most trolls you've seen have had gray irises, and those who didn't follow the typical biological trend of displaying their blood color. Tagiri pauses, his grip tensing on his sword as his fangs dig into his lip. Oh, jeez. This must be his most closely guarded secret. Have you earned enough trust to hear it? Never change MC, never change. Yeah. They're contact lenses for cosplay. Oh, fair enough. Actually, is cosplaying as a different blood caste even legal on this planet? If he's doing it, it probably is, right? You're about to ask when something distracts you. The sight of another troll standing in front of Takiri's hive, using it as shelter from the rising sun. They're pacing back and forth with precise movements, glancing at one of the windows almost like they're plotting to break in. And when they hear footsteps approaching, they perk up and whirl their head around. Hey, wait a second, you recognize them. Hey! Hi there! Good to see you. Philippa spots you before Tagiri spots her. Her expression is hard and stoic, eyes glancing between the two of you as she assesses the situation. And then, like she's throwing on a disguise, her face softens and she smiles. I honestly do not remember what voice I gave her. You know what, we'll just rock a new one. How about that? Hey, Tegs. I was starting to wonder where you were and if anime night was cancelled. Your Lucis is staring at me through the window. I think he thinks it's funny watching me stuck outside, roasting to death while you're chasing fur beasts around the hive batch. Heh. Classic Tadashi. The voice I'm doing for Tagiri is like making my throat hurt. Why were you late? Just busier than expected with some work? She shoots you a sharp glance. Assembling some new mecha models. You know how it is. Yes, Of course, it's all too easy to get wrapped up in one's hobby. Anyway, I didn't realize we'd have a third for once. Not to mention somebody I know. Nani? Oh, he has no clue she's an assassin. Oh. So he just thinks she's a fellow weeb, huh? Nani? You and my new kohai have already met. She pauses, her eyes darting back and forth between you two once more. she, she seems to be assessing the situation, wearing a look like an assassin trying to evade capture. You recognize that look, considering she was literally wearing it the last time you met. We're kinda Morels. Whoa, that's obviously not what you thought you were. But you just kinda nod your head and roll with it. It seems to be what she wants you to do. Oh, Morels? Tagiri's face tightens almost imperceptibly, but you caught it. Nothing gets past your honed friend-making eyes. Well, actually a lot of things get past them, but not this particular thing. You're finely tuned to the nuances of social situations, as long as those nuances don't involve making a binary choice on which your social future hinges. Well, as you know, I'm far too busy studying the blade to pursue quadrants of any sort. A foolish waste of time. Were it not for the laws of this land, I would swear off them entirely. Are you sure it isn't that you just can't get a date? You have to play the mysterious. You don't have to play the mysterious loner, you know. There's other clubs you could join instead of insisting on running your own. He huffs, looking away. You hear his Lucis barking from behind the window in a tone that sounds like laughter. Fools mock that which they cannot understand. And to think, I was going to congratulate you on finding love. Once you've finished your spiel, how about romance being dumb? Philippa gives him a light, friendly whack, which he responds to with a smile. You can tell the exchange is friendly not only because he's smiling, but because he's still standing. Yeah, you got a point there. She can knock you on your ass, and I am here for it. Enough banter. The harsh glare of the sun begins to crest, and we have Eastern alternate animation to indulge in. I'll allow you both to spend the day at my hive if needed. There's space. Oh shit, a slumber party? With more than one participant even? It's gotta be worth extra friend points. You are so in. Shelter from the broiling death orb in the sky barely even registers to you as an added bonus. Philippa smiles at you as the three of you enter Tagiri's hive. Tagiri covers up all his windows to block out the... 1-1. What? I was not expecting the just like straight up barking. Tagiri covers up all his windows to block out the sun, and then starts up the new copy of his DVD, which thankfully seems to meet his standards this time. You settle on the couch, basking in the warm glow of friendship, and prepare to lose yourself to hours of the beautiful, wonderful animes. I love MC and the Lucis. The TV translates to Ore wa Kaizoku o ni naru otoko da, which translates to English as I'm the man who will be the pirate king. Oh, they're watching One Piece. Right, that's a One Piece thing, right? Like this right here is so adorable. Like, oh, you, you can't you can't see my mouse. MC and the Lucis are just so fucking adorable. I love Philippa's face too. Like she is so into it. Yes, absolute gremlin energy. So I didn't get any of the bad ends for him, right? Does stuff all just take me down the same path that Dubs did? I feel like it would. I'm gonna start with the both are good. I'm kind of impressed that sometimes I run through one and I'm just like, oh, okay, we just like gonna accidentally get the good end. Even when I'm intentionally trying to make bad choices. I guess this one's just a friend for me. The expression immediately sours, and a look you're all too familiar with. If you had a mouse, you'd be frantically scrolling the wheel upwards to roll back in time and make a new choice. Will it let you? Holy shit. But you live in the real world, where you have to face the consequences of your god-awful anime opinions. Have you no conviction? The anime club is a sanctuary for those of strong will and finely honed arguments, not a shelter for cowardly peasants. What debate can come from a sycophantic toady such as yourself? How are you going to stimulate my intellect? You begin to sputter and protest. You're plenty stimulating. You've got a pretty long list of friends who you've stimulated in all kinds of ways. Platonic ones mostly. But he's not having any of it. There are other anime fans in the city. Perhaps their gatherings will be more your level. Farewell. Wait, what does the thing at the bottom of this one say? Oh, it just straight up says pathetic. Alright, I'm going to assume that Subs has the same reaction as Dubs. So I'm just gonna not intervene here. You really don't want to get in between the shopkeeper and Tagiri's sword. For all you know, this really does warrant an immediate execution. Who are you to judge? Do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full... You know, sometimes you have an itch where it just, like, makes your whole brain shut down until you scratch it. You do, however, squint a little so you don't have to see the full gory detail of the culling. Yeah, they are so annoying. Turns out, it's not nearly as gory as you expected. Tagiri leaps over the counter and swings wildly at the guy, but many of his attacks fail to connect. It's mostly just a bunch of bombastic anime-style moves that don't translate well to actual combat. Still, some strikes hit home, drawing a spray of murky gold blood that jolts the shopkeeper out of his petrified fear. Lol, loser. Yeah. He screeches and unleashes a strobing psionic blast from his eyes, causing Tagiri to stagger back disoriented. The flash of light doesn't seem to have caused any real damage, but it offers the perfect opportunity to flee. By the time your eyes have adjusted, the only thing they see is the back door swinging wildly in his wake. I guess so, damn. Unsurprisingly, the olive blood is nowhere to be seen as well. Tagiri glances down at his katana, stained with the blood of the shopkeeper, and slowly sheathes it. His hand is shaking, claws tapping the hilt restlessly. Oh, it bothers me that he sheathed the sword while it was still bloody. He turns slowly to you, forcing himself back into his usual stoic posture. He got lucky, that's all. But he can't hide forever. Let's go. We need to report this to a drone. He strides out of the shop, leaving you to follow hurriedly behind. What a mess. You hesitantly ask him whether it was really necessary to try and kill that boy for what he did. Of course it was. The law is absolute. A foreigner like you might not understand. It is not my duty to question the righteousness of my actions, but I am but a tool through which the law is enforced. Why do I feel like he's going to end up getting the drones locked onto us instead of the shopkeeper? I am the blade that her imperious condescension wields to maintain order in this world of chaos. Just like this drone. He gestures to one of the big hulking drones that you've grown all too familiar with during your stay here on Alternia. Right now, it looks like it's cleaning up some bronze-colored blood that was spattered on the side of a building? Tagiri approaches and hails it, beginning to explain there's a collector shop he needs to report for rebel activity. But the drone isn't listening to any of that. It slowly turns from him to stare directly at you, and it raises its weapon to your face. A grating electronic noise issues from its metallic grill. In the immortal words of a wise cartoon dog, ruh-roh. Hold it! Oh jeez, wow. I feel like barely any noise came out there. Hold it. This creature is under my protection. It has committed no crime. Actually, we've committed several crimes. If you continue this attempted culling, I will strike back with my katana. And a strongly worded letter to your superiors. The drone seems supremely annoyed that it can't just get right down to culling a motherfucker. But Tagiri's cast must be just high enough to give it pause. You, the motherfucker in question, are incredibly relieved. Tagiri, you don't want to know how many people MC has killed with their ass? Yeah, that bitch got a kill count. That relief quickly fades when the drone produces a palm husk with a blurry picture of you on the screen and a lot of text beneath, most of it flashing red. That's never a good sign. It looks like a rap sheet. Tagiri reads through it quickly, which is pretty impressive feat considering his eyes are still closed and his expression darkens the further down he gets. Wanted under suspicion of meat product theft. Heist of fine art. Accomplice to the assassination of a Violet Blood. Oof, you didn't realize you'd racked up such a heavy list of crimes. He's already rounding on you with fury radiating off every inch of his being. It's terrifying. You've seen this guy arguing with a retail clerk. You know what he's capable of. Honestly, if he looks at me like that, he can kill me. Wait, no, I'm supposed to have some kind of self-preservation instincts, right? I got nothing. All this time, I thought your soul was open to the way of the samurai. I thought I had met a potential new connoisseur of the animated arts. But no. Your blood pusher pumps only lies through your villainous veins. Actually, that line kind of goes real hard, I'm not gonna lie. You were just looking for an alibi. A place to bide your time, to hide away from the drones until it was time to indulge once more in your criminal ways. Or UNC. Um, possibly. You tried to defend yourself. You didn't do any of those things. And you had a perfectly good reason for most of them. Tajiri isn't buying it. He's clutching his katana hilt so tight, veins are bulging on his hand. Silence, coward! The time has come for my blade to strike true. He draws his blade in a smooth motion and swipes at you, and you just barely manage to sidestep the attack. You dart backwards, stumbling over yourself in your haste to get away, while he swings his katana wildly around while making lots of weird grunting noises. Once again, his mouth has been writing a check his sword hand can't cash, but you doubt that matters when trolls are stronger and faster than you in general. And he's accompanied by a giant murder drone. Yeah, it's time for you to split. And you'd better do it lickety. Glancing around, you notice that you're about to cross over a bridge with an underpass underneath it. Or underpass beneath it. Perfect. Just like an action hero, you can hop right over the edge of the road, duck into the underpass, and find a nice hiding spot. This is not going to go well, is it? You dash towards what words? You dash towards the traffic barrier, vault nimbly over it, and oh Jesus piss, this is way higher than you thought it was. You hit the ground hard with a resounding crack. And for a moment your vision goes blank as a wave of pain sears your nerves. As the disorientation begins to fade, you decide it's about time to take stock of your situation. Couple of broken bones, old hat, a troll trying to kill you, not unfamiliar, drones attacking you, same, and the sun about to rise and scorch you into nothing, again. Individually, you've risen to the challenge of just barely handling each of these problems, but all at once? Yeah, you think you're just gonna call this one here. I don't know what's better, the useless or the, like, squished spider. Like, looking NC down there. Yeah, rip MC's bones again. So, ooh, oh hey, all according to Kikak. All according to plan. Ah, there we go. What was that about graveyard shift? Interesting. RPF, real pro friend, aw. All according to plan. What was? Oh yeah, take me to clown church. Oh, he does. Next stream will be the Cthulhu Mythos one, like the one with the good end. I am not gonna lie, I still haven't started setting that one up, so it may end up just being a stream from the beginning of Cthulhu Mythos. Instead of, like, just the end. It all depends on whether or not I remember to do it tomorrow. Alright, well, I think that'll be it for tonight. Good night.